Hey everyone, welcome back. And in this video, I want to show you how you can use Tailwind CSS with React. And that is pretty much what you would be doing in this learning path all along, because we have chosen React as a technology. So in order to use Tailwind with React, you have to set it up according to what your environment is. For example, if I have React Playground on Codedamp, at least for now, we use something known as Snowpack as a bundler instead of Create React app because it's a bit faster. If you're running it in a Create React app locally, then you have to follow it a bit differently. If you're running it on Next.js, there's a little bit of different procedure and so on. So if you go to Tailwind CSS installation section under docs path, you're going to see you have multiple options. We have been doing so far with the play CDN, which is not optimal for production and fine for just, having a little bit of experimentation. What you want is go into this frameworks guide and pick up whatever framework you are using. In this case, we are using React, not on server side, but on client side, and that also with Snowpack. So I'm just going to follow this quick Snowpack guide, which in essence is pretty much similar to what your Create React app guide would be. So I'm going to fire up a second terminal and start writing these commands. If you want to follow along, you can do the same thing in the Codedamp Playground, at least if we are still using the Snowpack bundler. You can see that we are using Snowpack because of the Snowpack keyword. So I'm going to install this. The next thing which we need from the Snowpack bundler is the configuration part. So we can do something like yarn tailwind init, I believe. And you can see it has created a tailwind config for us, but not a Snowpack, not a post CSS config.js. So let's go ahead and create that ourselves, post css.config.js. And over here in this file, I'm just going to keep it like this. And in the tailwind config, we have to specify the content part. This is a little bit older configuration, Tailwind version 2. In Tailwind version 3, you just have to specify the content part of all you want to have. So let me just go ahead and copy that instead. So right here, what we want to say is that look inside the src folder, and anything you find with JS or JSX, just try to extract out Tailwind styles from that and apply that, right? That's what we are saying. And yep, that is pretty much it in this setup. And finally, it says us in the Snowpack configuration, we have to add this as the dev options. So let's go to Snowpack, and over here, you can see inside dev options, we have to add this Tailwind config, and inside the plugins, we have to add the Snowpack plugin over here. There we go. Finally, we have to go to the public global.css in this case. And if that is not a file, then we'll create that global.css, import the Tailwind utilities, which are the base utilities. And then finally add this as a global CSS file inside our index.html. Okay, once we have done all of this, hopefully when we restart our server for Snowpack, it should pick up our Tailwind. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say inside src folder, I'm going to remove all the CSS files, right? Including this global.css. I'm going to just close this. And inside app, I'm going to remove this, refresh this. Even inside index.js, let's remove this file and refresh this. And for global.css, it says us not found. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that global.css is pretty much empty at the moment. So looks like it did not propagate the changes. So let's just go ahead and copy these utilities one more time to see if it is not being overwritten. And okay, now if I go back to app.jsx, remove this app class and try to write bgcray of 800. Okay, so did a quick change in the setup, moved the global.css file in the src folder, and this index file now includes the global file. So now what we can do is do all sorts of Tailwind CSS stuff, which we did back in the HTML and CSS tutorials, and whatever we do, it will automatically start reflecting it in our React playground. So yep, that's pretty much it. That's how you would set up your Tailwind CSS thing in a React based playground. And the fun part of this is you don't have to reload, so that's awesome. But it will automatically minify and take out all the things, all the required things from your React JSX files, thanks to the configure, the content property which you have specified over here. So that's all for this one. In the next video, let's explore a bit about this configuration file as well.